Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing the NaNoWriMo tag. And I came across this tag on Katie Tastic's channel back when she was doing her 2012 vlogs. I know that there's a different version of this tag, but I liked the questions on that video, so those are the questions I'm going to be using. Question number 1 is this the first year that you've participated in NaNoWriMo, or have you participated before? And no, this is not the first time that I have participated in NaNoWriMo. This is my second time participating in the main event, and my fourth NaNoWriMo event overall. I participated in NaNoWriMo in 2014 and I ended up getting somewhere around 23,000 words, and then I tried to participate in both Camp NaNoWriMo in April 2015 and Camp NaNoWriMo in July of 2016, and I don't even know what my word count was for those because I kind of just failed on all accounts on both of those. Question number 2 is, how did you find out about NaNoWriMo? Well, actually, I've known about NaNoWriMo for a very, very long time, but it wasn't until watching Katie Tastic's videos back in 2013 or 2014 that I actually learned what it was. Essentially, when I was younger, maybe like 10 or 11, I was always on this website called GaiaOnline.com. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with it. Let me know down in the comments if you are. But essentially, I was on that website literally all the time. It was this website where you had an avatar and you could have a house for your avatar, but it wasn't just a role-playing game. It was there were forums. It's a very complex thing. There were shops that you could shop at. Anyway, this was, like I said, when I was 10 or 11, so 2004, 2005, and people kept talking about NaNoWriMo on the forums, and I had literally no idea what that was. And I never found out what that was until, like I said, I discovered Katie Tastic's videos and she was talking about it. So, long story short, I first learned about it in 2004 or 2005, and I actually learned about it sometime around 2014. Question number 3 is, are you in it to win it, or are you just having fun? And I am obviously in it to win it. I am such a competitive person, and so when I am in something that has a set goal, I am just in it to win it. That being said, obviously I have failed 3 times in the past, so clearly I am not always the most driven. I'm really bad about starting things and not finishing them, but I am in this to win it, although it is still fun because I'm spending hours a day writing. Question number 4 is, are you on track with your daily word count goal? I am filming this on day 9, and the word count goal for today is 15,000 words, and I am currently sitting at just over 21,000 words. So yes, I am on track. However, I have only written about 1,000 words today, so I am hoping to get some more done so I hit that 1,600 word goal for the day. Question number 5 is less of a question and more of an instruction, and it is to tell the people watching about my story, a brief summary, the title, and the genre, stuff like that. So I don't have a title. The working title on NaNoWriMo is one that I came up with in 2 seconds, and it was Flirting with Fame. And I talked a little bit about my story in a writing vlog a week or 2 ago, so I will link that up in the cards, but I will also talk about it a little bit. As far as genre, it is walking the lines between a fan fiction and a contemporary story. Essentially, my first inklings of an idea for this story were when I was in junior high, and it was a Jonas Brothers fanfic. It has since evolved out of that into a story with a fictional boy band, but a lot of the things within the story are the same. Essentially, in my story, my main character is a 17-year-old girl named Caitlin who lives in a small town. Her best friend is obsessed with this boy band, and one day at school she tells her that this boy band is supposedly moving somewhere in their area to try to get away from all of the media craze in Hollywood. And of course, Caitlin rolls her eyes and doesn't believe her because A, she does not care about this boy band. She likes alternative rock music and she doesn't like these pop musicians. And B, she just thinks that this is the most ridiculous thing she's ever heard, until the boy band moves in next door to her. And if you think that that sounds like the beginning of a really cliche, silly, melodramatic story, you are 100% correct. This started at the Quizilla story caliber of fan fiction, and it's going to end at the Quizilla caliber of contemporary novels. Nonetheless, it's really fun to write and I love all the ridiculousness, so I'm still very excited about it, although there have been a couple days so far that I have just not been into it. Question number 6 is, has anything crazy happened? Have you been attacked by plot bunnies? Nothing too out there has happened because I am a planner. I'm not a crazy planner, but I do have the general outline of the story outlined. That being said, some fairly unexpected things have happened so far. First of all, if you have seen my first week of NaNoWriMo vlog, you will know that one day I wrote 4,100 words on 2 scenes that I did not plan on writing. One scene was completely unplanned and I word vomited it onto the page in like an hour, and that was really great. The other scene, certain elements of it were planned, but the way that it all happened was completely different, and that was the time that I wrote 2,300 words in an hour and like shocked myself into oblivion. However, I think the biggest surprise to me has been that in starting the story and starting writing it, I've realized that one of my characters suffers from panic attacks. And I don't mean this in the sense that I added in panic attacks as like a character trait that they can work through, but I realized that through the way that they were reacting to certain situations that I had already laid out in my outline, I realized this person is suffering from panic attacks. Like, certain situations trigger this individual and cause them to react in very over-the-top and very panic-inducing ways to situations that should not actually be threatening. I'll be the first to admit that I personally am not extremely knowledgeable in this area, and I definitely need to brush up on my knowledge of how panic attacks work and what they feel like to people who suffer from them and what the actual symptoms are. But at this point, I'm kind of just trying to get through this, and then I'm going to work that out later. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that's kind of surprised me in writing this, because until then, it was just someone who had very averse reactions to certain things. And like I said, I started to realize that this person was having panic attacks that were triggered by certain events. Okay, moving on from that slightly darker topic into question 7, which is, do you have any friends who are participating in NaNoWriMo? And no, unfortunately, I do not have any friends in real life who are participating in NaNoWriMo, but of course I do know several people online who are participating, and I'm definitely trying to jump into the conversation in the forums and on Twitter. So if you're participating, definitely keep in touch with me, like tweet me, talk to me on NaNoWriMo. I would love to keep in touch with everyone and try to keep everyone motivated to succeed this month. Question number 8 is, what is your best tip for getting yourself to write and stop procrastinating? And honestly, if any of y'all know me, you know that this is a major problem for me because I am master procrastinator. I procrastinate everything in my life. But the things that I have found that really, really help me succeed in writing in NaNoWriMo are writing triggers. Even though I knew the psychological things going on with writing triggers, I was a little skeptical about them going into NaNoWriMo, but they have really been helping me. So when I talk about writing triggers, I'm talking about things that you do only when writing, so that they kind of in your mind bring up thoughts of writing. So what I do is, when I'm writing at home, I sit in the same spot, I burn one of the 3 candles that I have, and I listen to the same playlist. Sometimes I mix up the playlist, but I have only 2 or 3 that I go between. Essentially, I try to create the same atmosphere every single time that I'm writing, so that when I sit down at my desk, I'm like, this is writing time. This is not the place where I sit on YouTube or sit on Twitter. This is the place where I write. And at first, I didn't think that it was doing very much. But the other night, if you've seen my NaNoWriMo vlogs, I fell asleep in bed trying to write, and I only got 700 words that day. Every single other time I've tried to sit down and write, I've been successful because I have sat down at my desk and I have put on my earbuds, I've burned a candle, and I have focused on writing. Even if you don't want to get as intense as I am getting with the candle and the playlist, try picking a spot that you use to write. Sit in that spot only when you're going to write. If you are not writing, you are not sitting in that spot. Just try it. And I think that it should help. Question number 9 is, what is your favorite noveling snack? And I don't really snack while I'm writing. I snack pretty much every other time of the day, but I don't snack while writing because it takes my fingers away from the keyboard and it hinders me from writing. I often don't drink anything while I'm writing either, but if I am consuming any sort of food or beverage while writing, it's usually coffee. Sometimes if I'm writing at like Starbucks, I'll be having a latte from Starbucks, or if I'm writing at home, I will just brew some coffee and be drinking it while I'm writing. Yet another writing trigger. Most of this month I have not had any coffee unless I was working on my novel or writing my novel. So, another idea. Question number 10 is, who do you tag? And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is an old tag, so I have no idea who has done this and who has not. But if you are doing NaNoWriMo and you are watching this video, I tag you to do the NaNoWriMo tag. So that is it for this video. Let me know down in the comments how you're doing in NaNoWriMo if you're participating. I will also leave a link down in the description to my NaNoWriMo page, so go ahead and add me as a buddy. And if you want to talk about anything NaNoWriMo related, hit me up on Twitter because I'm on there like all the time. As always, links to all of my social media will be down in the description. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you on Goodreads. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!